let's get started. So let's call the meeting to order. Go ahead and start the video and cool. Visitors, any comments?
We don't have any scheduled comments. Dan, you just want to introduce yourself for the group?
Sure. My name is Dan Olson. I'm the developer of the GoList. GoList is a marketing platform that is designed to support newspapers.
Just winging you around there to get you the camera.
right.
I'll move it around. There you go.
And so we're launching with Webster Groves High School. There's going to be high school students that are going out to the community to ask if people want to participate to support their newspaper, The Echo. And I'm just here to see if this is the right place to introduce it or not, but my first time at one of these meetings. So, hello.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Minutes, everybody got those sent out for Fran? Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make that motion.
All right.
I approve.
All right, second there, and then all in favor?
Aye.
And it's approved. So, old business is the copy subcommittee update. Eric, do you want to give us an update there? Did you guys meet?
We plan to meet soon.
Okay.
Update.
All right, that's the update. So we have not met yet.
We'll meet
Okay.
hopefully next week.
Yeah.
Or the week after.
Yeah, Tammy's out of the country. I think she's gone for another week and a half. So after that, let's do it.
All right.
One thing, so you know, the 14th was the tentative date for February. That's also Ash Wednesday, which is an early morning thing, so you might think about changing. the
Yeah.
date.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think of it, somebody else did.
All right.
Because we obviously will want, and Mr. Chair, I just would suggest maybe if November 16th should be fine, but if we can the next meeting, have the date, then we get to save the dates out.
That's what I was gonna say.
So-
Yeah, I think if we can get the same dates out before the holiday, that'll be good. And then kind of button everything up in January and then copy in February. So perfect. Where's Tammy at? Just out of curiosity.
No idea.
Not sure.
Good day.
I just started out of the country. I was like, it's kind of interesting.
She's in Belgium.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right, well, I think most of the rest of the meeting is probably gonna be the holiday stuff, but do you want to skip Jenny for now since she ran to?
Yes, Jenny had to say some things downstairs, so why don't we do the business?
Let's go do the business district updates then, yeah. Missing our old Webster reps, and so Fran, do you want to catch us up to speed on?
Trick or treat is the Saturday before.
So this Saturday,
Halloween. All 3 business districts are participating this year, not just Old Webster, so that's 56 businesses. More than anybody can go to in 2 hours. Old Webster, after that has their open house on November 12th,
What's the trick or treating time?
3 to 5.
I've seen a lot of people like posting on the community, like Connect asking, are they still doing it this year? When is it? Blah, blah, blah. So a lot of people are looking for information. I don't know if you wanna.
I've seen them
Do
post
something.
the event on social media too, or share it.
Share
I
it.
could say.
yeah,
Yeah, all the businesses have posters and maps and
Mhm.
yeah,
it's gotten to be a really big thing.
People are definitely excited about it for sure.
should be fun. Hopefully the weather holds off.
It's on the GoList app too.
I loved it. I love it.
Nice. So is that that's basically everything that we got going on with the business districts right now,
Well,
right?
that was Old Webster,
So
Yeah.
Webster, I'm gonna go Julia, Crossroads.
Crossroads.
Hey, Julia.
Hey, Crossroads, we're doing good. There've been a couple of buildings that have sold recently, so that's exciting to see what happens next. And pickleball went great. And I think that's it. We're excited to be part of trick or treating this year too. So
I have one small update
Yeah.
for our area. There's a sweet boy, young man, that's doing a stream cleanup this Saturday. In coordination with Stream Clean. So I don't know, he's doing it as like some kind of project. I talked with his mom. But they're cleaning up the area located between Kirkham, Pacific, Rock Hill and Gore. So Clean Stream is like bringing out a dumpster and this 14-year-old boy named Miles is coordinating it. So I'm gonna be there on Saturday morning, just kind of like making sure they have a place to use the restroom and stuff like that. But if you're not busy Saturday morning, come on out. I've made copies of the flyer.
Old Orchard is having a holiday event this year too, on
Oh, really?
December 2nd.
I saw that.
It'll be shopping, this is kind of something new for them, shopping and dining day culminating in a musical performance at Gazebo Park right before dusk, and then we'll light up the park. We're gonna light it up differently because the evergreen tree that we used to light up the Christmas tree died and we had to cut it down. They replaced it, but it's obviously a baby. So they're gonna light up the Gazebo Park, but they're trying to get the businesses more engaged. So that's kind of a new thing. There's a lot of new businesses since they tried that the last time, so.
Yes. Mhm.
So on that, and just over for Gazebo Park, we obviously have used one tree there. When we say we're gonna light it up a little better, we've gone to tree wraps, so it's gonna look much more like the winter wonderland type of thing. We use the little park in a little different way and add to it. And then you'll see Old Webster's invested in more holiday decorations, newer, more garland and such. In fact, I think we've started to wrap some of the poles just to
Yeah,
get
right in
ahead
front
of
of City Hall, you can see what it
You'll
looks like.
see what it looked like, and we have some of the poles on some of the streetlights we have never had power. So long ago, we didn't put power into them for plugins, but some of the new poles in Old Orchard and Old Webster do, and so we'll be putting lights on the poles for the first time throughout the districts. And where there's power, I want to be very clear,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be this brand new display of lights everywhere.
Nice. All right. Well, we went to business district updates, we skipped this,
Oh,
we'll get
okay.
this safe,
No
but
problem.
Can I,
That's
are you
it.
ready? I don't wanna
It's
put you on the
tricky.
spot.
Can I give you a 10-second intro, just for everyone
Yeah.
that's back up on, in terms of holiday marketing and just marketing in general? Benny was on this commission before we both ended up working here, and many of you were here, but at some time, 4 or 5 years ago, the city really made a concerted effort to step into the marketing space through BDC, and how do we discuss marketing to drive traffic here, to help the business climate and such. Once we created the Public Affairs and Engagement Office, obviously much of the tactical work of doing that transferred from my predecessor to now Jenny's office and such, and really has become evolved into a marketing function of the city, right? It's not something where we have to come back to BDC and say, what's the right little thing to do, right? It's this policy goal that we need to market the city to drive consumers and to improve our climate. And so Jenny's our implementer of that, and deals with agencies and possibilities and such. So I'm gonna let her go through that, but I wanted to say that, we think we have a pretty robust plan that we've laid out for holiday, as we do many years. But also, we're always open to the feedback of the group, right? So I don't want you to hear that transition into it's become a normal thing for City Hall to do, is that we don't want your feedback and your input on things. It's now become a more functioning thing of the organization as we do every day, so.
And I can even at the end, I'll talk about some ideas that I've heard from other folks just in conversations, but. A lot of the things that we've done, we started doing last year and we're kind of continuing them and building upon them, but the very first thing that I've listed is KMOV, their Great Day St. Louis show. We do a segment with them. Rachel Sauter from Leopard loves doing it. She's really talented at it, and all the different stores in Old Webster will drop off items for her, and we kind of set up a nice table, and she talks about the holiday open house. The Old Webster Business District does pay for that segment. When I work with KMOV, I order that plus the commercials together, so we get everything a little cheaper. So then we just invoice them. So that's how that works out, that they get that. But and we also do a 30-second TV ad. The copy on that one is very much, I say Webster Wonderland in this, and it's explained a little bit at the beginning, but that's kind of our all-encompassing shop local, dine local, come to Webster Groves. For the Webster Wonderland this holiday season is what we've always kind of ranged it. So the commercial is the same one that runs on Fox 2. And it is very like shop small business, you're helping, your neighbors in your community. And the video from the commercial that we aired previously was taped during COVID. And so the copy was very evergreen, like shop local, dine local, help small businesses, but all of the video was very like people in masks, people kind of looking sad, very sports restaurants. We've updated that. I sent them last year at the holiday open house. I walked around with the camera. I shot a whole bunch of videos, and I've sent those videos to Channel 4. So they're covering up. I said anything that looks too COVID-y, because they're like, we got you. So they're doing that, and I've also sent the same video to Fox 2. So they're going to do that, and they've got slightly different copy, but it works well with them. And then Fox 2. They've got their studio STL show, which is like Great Day St. Louis and Show Me St. Louis, that kind of talk show. And we do a segment with them for Old Orchard, their Christmas special. And last year it was the woman, and I'm blanking on her name, but she owns, what is the,
Civil Optimist?
no, it's across the street with all the local.
Union,
Union Studios. The owner of Union Studio did the segment for us last year. And it was the same thing. We got materials from a number of the stores. We could kind of talk about if you're gift shopping, if you have, you know, for dad, for mom, hostess gifts, here's some different things that you can find in Old Orchard. And so we'll be doing that again. KEZK, as we all know, they start airing Christmas music. So we do a shop local, dine local Webster Groves ad on KEZK that runs through all of the Christmas music throughout November and December, and that promotes shop local, dine local. KTRS airs the Liberty Bell, the Turkey Day game between Webster and Kirkwood, so we always do advertising in that, because we know that we've got a lot of Webster and Kirkwood people listening. And then Webster Kirkwood Times works with us. They do these ads, and they get the businesses within each business district to do them. So we've always done Old Webster, we've always done Old Orchard. We've started doing Crossroads this year, because there's a few more retail businesses in Crossroads that it made sense, and they expressed some interest.
we just put right there, that is the subsidized gang pages, you see, it's a big page for Old Webster, and then every business can buy a smaller ad within that, but the districts contribute to that to lower the cost of the advertising for the business.
It's a really,
It makes it very affordable for the businesses.
Yeah,
We do it,
most
we've been doing
can't.
it every year. Yeah, it's really nice.
social media, the Explore Webster page on Instagram and Facebook. Throughout the month, I give away a grand total of around 500. I'll do 50 here, 50 there, like, tell us your favorite place, you know, where's your favorite place to get a burger? And then people can type their names, or do you know somebody who deserves a gift? And then people can suggest someone. I put all of the names in an online randomizer from both accounts, and I pick out a name and we send them the gift cards. So those are the Webster Bucks. So it gets people really excited as it gets going. Like the first few are always slow. I always have to send it out to people I know and post it on my own page. And then as it gets going by the end of the month, we've got a lot of comments where people who are trying to win a gift card. So that's always a good thing. And the one thing that we're going to try this year is a Viral Vision. I don't know if anyone's familiar. The Webster Grove School District has an entrepreneurship program for the students where they start little businesses throughout the year and that they work on those. There's some students who are doing Viral Vision. It's a social media business for events and then other management. And so I'm working with Kara Seavey, who's their teacher, and I was thinking it might be great to have them just do live coverage of the holiday open house and of the Old Orchard thing from the Explore Webster page. Kind of do some cute reels, some cute photos, and just kind of have that young feel and see how that goes. And if it goes well, maybe have them do a few more things then throughout the year. On the Explore Webster page, because they seem very psyched to do all that. And then I know that we've had people from the Women's Creative talk to the group in the past. They put on those like,
Oh, they're great.
they're great. They put on those craft events. They always try to do one the past few years in Webster Groves at the Olive and Oak space. And so they've reached out to me, and it's called Procure Market. It's gonna be the Olive and Oak space. I don't know which day, but she expressed that she would be interested in having Webster Groves sponsor. So she's gonna send me the information of how much we want. Usually it's a small amount, between 500 and 1,000. It's not too much, but they put us on everything, and it helps because people then come to Webster Groves and they shop at the Olive and Oak thing.
Yeah.
Huge crowds, and then they kind of stay around the area and shop. So that's kind of a cool thing that started last year. I think they really started doing more stuff in Webster Groves. Other ideas that we were talking about that came up kind of for next year. Like Webster says that, like Eric said, the big Webster Kirkwood Times ads that the businesses can help pay for. Talking with some of the business owners, they expressed that it would be nice if there's like a larger full page calendar, that if there's an event, like now Novel Neighbor is doing some sort of a Christmas story hour, they could put it on there and have it as a full page ad in the Webster Kirkwood Times. Amy's Cake Pop Shop is doing Christmas cake pop, something like that. All the businesses that have little events for Christmas could put it on there, and that we would pay for part of it. They pay a very small amount, like $100 or something like that. Or to be able to get a Christmas calendar in Webster Kirkwood Times was one idea. And then also Neighbors of Webster Groves, talking with them, they might be able to get it done for this year, but if not this year, then definitely next year, do a shopping guide for Webster Groves. So like, do you have a teen on your list? You know, what about your babysitter? What about, you know, your dad? What about the hard to shop for person? And then just kind of mention different stores and items in that guide. And so that's something it's when we talked about it, it's like 5 days to deadline, so we're hoping we can get something going, but it's hard to say, but if not this year, then next year.
Let me just add, obviously, marketing doesn't just happen around the holidays, it's our big time, right? And we can obviously see that from our retail activity and when shopping is really, sales tax and track those things. But also throughout the year, if there are places where you think, hey, maybe we should pump up the world of Webster in some ways. I thought in my mind, we have so many restaurants here, there's a restaurant week in many places, we have different promotions, but should we try to pull one off and coordinate one, from a Webster perspective and such. So those types of things, we're here to be tacticians and help do the work and get that done and make these things happen. But if there are those events or those moments that, you think might be helpful to the business community and driving foot traffic and such, always throw them on the table. So we appreciate the good ideas.
Yeah, because other thing, you might even hear, we're gonna work with Line 98 just to promote workinwebstergroves.com. So they'll have some ads that will be running for that throughout the holiday season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know like Kirkwood does their fall wine walk. There are hundreds of people lined up just to get wine at these businesses. It is wild.
And you have to pay, you have to buy a ticket for that.
Oh, yeah, and
Yeah.
it sells out. It is a popular event.
And like Maplewood has that chocolate walk or something like that.
Yeah.
They've got- Yeah. There's all these different-
So if Kirkwood does wine, does that mean Webster? What do we have to do?
Whiskey.
Whiskey,
Yeah.
whiskey and Webster. There we go.
That's really- Leaf removal.
Lean into that liberal.
Everything's pretty locked up, right, as far as the costs and stuff like
Yeah, the
that?
two little starred items at the end are the only two that are still kind of in development. so.
Gotcha.
So many years ago, and when we were talking about, the budget always used to show there's a BDC line item for holiday marketing.
Mhm.
2 years ago, the 22 budget, we moved that over under public affairs, again, the tactical piece and such. So it's all still there. We're still doing it. And I did want to, no one has ever accused of this, but we have 3 business districts, right? And it's tough at times to represent the whole city because where are your pictures taken? Where's the video taken, right? These events are happening in the business districts, but we are very intentional, other than the things that are paid for by those districts, to be the whole width and the breadth of the city, right? We're talking to Yorkshire owners, we're up in Zeta Dell, we're over on, down on the south end of Watson, or west end of Watson, talking to those folks on what do they need and how can we help? So we want to make sure everyone's aware of that it's not just the business district.
And that's kind of some of the thought also behind the full page Christmas calendar and the shopping guide is that you can draw in those other businesses. You can suggest like, oh, need a hostess gift, go to Maypop, get, a porch pot, or if you need something else, go to this nail salon in Yorkshire Plaza. There's all the different places and you can kind of then do a little bit better job of hitting some of those areas that aren't in a specified business district.
The viral vision sounds great because between Jenny and I, we're not good enough to walk around and get all the fun stories that happen at events like
Yeah,
that.
the kids
Yeah.
know
It's like a swarm of reporters.
Do
like
the-
having-
Maybe,
Yeah,
like, I can
that
do
stuff
reel,
too,
but it'll
towards
take
the
me a
end.
bit, and then a kid is like, boom, and there's your reel, and it's got music under it, and you're like, oh, okay, great, that's fantastic.
How did I get the TikTok app
Yeah.
downloaded? How did that work? Yeah.
Where's the music saying now? Yeah.
Oh, Julie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Hey, no, it's okay. I can't imagine, Jenny, how busy you are. Like, I know how crazy it is to like create content and organize all of that. Is there anything that we can do as the BDC to help like supplement that for you or connect with business owners to get the message out about these different programs you have going on?
I think once I start doing the giveaways on the Explore Webster Facebook page and Instagram, definitely if you have a social media account for your business, share some of that on there if you want. I think that would be very helpful. And then also, it's not the Explore Webster page, but Fran does a great job with all of the UTV events and everything on Old Webster's page and Old Orchard's page. And so I try to share those on Explore Webster when I can, but I think any amplification of those accounts, I think really helps out quite a bit.
Totally.
Julia, let me just add real quick. We're not here, the city's not here to promote a sale if you're having a sale, right? But if you're having an event that is linked to your business, we're fine with that. We have, of course, the event calendar on the website, but if you're gonna have a social media post, you're advertising some event, a little walk or a moment, we're happy to help amplify that. Sometimes we just need to know that you're having it, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
we won't see it all the time, so.
And I've done that in the past. I know that like when Maypop will do like, it's a maker's marketplace and they've got all the different crafter, they'll send me that and I'll put it on the calendar for it. I've done that with Amy's Cake Pop shop and things like that. So it's just nice to amplify all of the stuff as much as possible.
How
And
much-
if you have ideas, I should also add, if you have ideas for a publication or a radio station or anything, you're like, why aren't we on there? Let me know and I can look into it and reach out to them and see what the prices are and if we can fit them in for next year.
Do we get a lot out of like the boosted post, right? It's probably like $250, right? Because of the giveaways that you're doing.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
does
honestly,
that get us enough?
Don't spend that much because I usually try to do a different contest every week, so it's like. Sometimes it's like $12 just to boost the post for one
Okay.
week, and so it doesn't cost like, maybe we spend like $100 in boosts throughout the month on Explore Webster, so that's pretty small.
Okay.
And by the end of the month, we get a lot of likes and comments and shares, and that helps.
Yeah.
Just raise awareness of some of the other items.
Do you see more action on Facebook versus Instagram?
Surprisingly, last year, I remember as the contest got going, we got more comments on Instagram. There were more people that were using Instagram on it.
Yeah.
And I am by no means, I'm by no means a marketing expert, but, my nephews have told me since I'm on Facebook, it's not cool. And then they found me on Instagram and decided that's not cool anymore. I mean, so
Yeah.
social media is an evolving trend, right? I mean, when I started in government, even 5 years ago, when we were looking in Arizona at things, no way were we gonna be on Snapchat, TikTok, and TikTok, the whole security concerns aside, I mean, the markets are moving, evolution is changing, so, we're continually looking at where do we have to step into next,
Yeah.
how do we get to omni-channel, and that's a whole bunch of words there, if you want to talk, Pam can tell you all, about it, so.
Yeah, we did the most. I feel like Instagram has definitely grown quite a bit, even for the city's account and for Explore Webster. Twitter was low for the city, but ever since the change to X, it's nosedived. So there's no desire for me to add Explore Webster onto Twitter. I don't think we'll get much action there.
Yeah, if I'm traveling, I go on Instagram and I'm searching the city like geotag and I'm looking at what other people have tagged in that city, So I think like that's a huge, the tags and tagging Explore Webster and stuff, like that's the main.
And stories, I feel like people are even just from last year. From last year to this year, I feel like people use stories more, so we have to find a way to incorporate that. And I noticed, Fran, you even when you sent me some of the graphics for the holiday open house, you had a
Do a
Facebook
story
story,
graphic all the
so,
time.
it's an additional graphic, not great
It
for
is,
Instagram,
it
that
is.
kind of thing.
Does it make sense for to kind of get something out to the businesses that they know to tag like Webster Wonderland, or do they know to do that?
I
so
can do
they
that,
bring it all
I
together?
know there's a Facebook group of some of them, so when I start the giveaways, I'll post in there just to remind people that if they could share and to tag Explore Webster, because sometimes some businesses have tagged Webster Grove City, which is great, and we like it, we appreciate it, but you're gonna be driving people to content about like fill out the
Taxes.
survey, here's what here's what municipal court needs, and I don't know that that's the same, what they're interested in hearing.
Mike, your point's taken though, and I don't think we did it last year, but we can easily put together that brief email, I go
Yeah,
for the business list.
Yeah, I don't think that hurts. I mean, just gets everybody thinking about it.
But it also, and I think to the point that the questions that Julie asked, one of the things is also, we all know how emails go, right? They go sit in the box and, do I need to hear from this person, and, what's the city telling me? Your amplification to help tell your fellow business owners and those folks in your networks, hey, let's make sure to share some of this stuff would be helpful.
And Great Day St. Louis is nice, the fact that they always put the full video of the paid segment on their page so that we can share it very easily, and I know that that's been something that gets a lot of interest that we share, because it's a nice short little segment, and it's very well produced.
Is Kim will be making the ad for you?
Yeah, yes, they're editing it together and doing the voiceover and stuff. We like I've sent them video clips and they sent copy and I made some, we kind of,
Okay.
it's collaborative. With some of the ads like the KZK ad, I think it's the same one that they've been running for a while. It sounds good, it works, so we're gonna stick with it because
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of fun because they sent a whole bunch of voices last year and I got to pick like from people like, which voice do you want? I'm like, do you want the mom? Like they had like, the mom, we've got this, we've got an older gentleman and you could just pick out which voice you wanted to.
Julie, I realize you don't have this list. We'll make sure to email it out to you. The document, through the referencing.
Good deal. Anybody else, anything to add to the holiday advertising? Nice job, Jenny, as always. Good, all right. Councilwoman Bliss, any city updates for us?
Yeah, I have a few. Let's see, last time council met, we discussed the charter amendment considerations. The two representatives from the Charter Review Advisory Board came and presented to us and told us about their report. They made a 92-page report about recommendations for the charter, and it goes through the entire process. And some of them are just text amendments, others are bigger items, but they've really done a really good job. It was a lot of work. They met for 2 weeks or twice a month for over a year. And so now council is going to be talking about how we'll consider putting them on the ballot when they put together 28 charter amendments or recommendations for 28 charter amendments. So we need to discuss how to work with those and present those to the community for ballot later. The Sustainability Commission with their ARPA funds, we now have a special initiatives funds for solar residential rebate, so $500 if you can. If you decide to go solar on your home and go through the paperwork and get the permit and get it installed, you will be getting a $500 rebate on solar, which is a great deal because you can also get a 30% of the cost to install your rebate or your solar. It comes from the government, so you'll get 30% back, and then anything, no sales tax on any solar equipment. So this is really a good collective effort towards making solar more accessible for everyone.
And if I can just real quick.
Yeah.
Pam really undersold the easiest part is there's no extra paperwork for the rebate. So you're gonna have to get
Yeah.
a permit to put a solar in anyways. You
Yes.
just- It's all part of the permit.
Yeah.
File a permit, you just get the money back when it's all inspected and done. So
And so that's for,
Sorry,
2,500.
okay.
And trust me, it'll be at least 2,500 to put a panel up.
Yeah.
yeah,
Of-
and this is for the next year. Let's see, what else? Saturday, along with the trick or treating in Old Orchard, the Arts Commission will be awarding the Lifetime Achievement in the Arts to Bob Casserly, who we know is City Museum and great public sculpture artist. And so he designed the Apple chairs, and so he's from Webster Groves. So he will be receiving that posthumously. And so at 3:00 in Gazebo Park, Arts Commission will be there. They will be doing, they'll have a quick ceremony, but they'll also be doing kids' activities and some other things in recognition of Mr. Castley. The Saturday after Halloween is the Pumpkin Smash that's hosted by the Sustainability Commission. And so from 8 to noon on Saturday morning, take your pumpkins to the Public Works Center on Waymire, and you can collectively compost pumpkins that way. And it's a big deal. You can bring kids or your own anger and smash a pumpkin. And
Sort of fun, if you got to make.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should say your own emotions.
Yeah.
I'll open it up a little bit, but anyway, yeah, so that is always a fun event. This is their 3rd or 4th annual event for that, and so that's always a kind of a favorite of the commission. I think we have Destination Webster Groves. Survey is on the website, and so this is a balancing act. I don't know if you've used that platform before, but it's actually a lot of fun. You will have $22.1 million to use towards the no tax increase bond that we are going to have on the ballot in April. Everything from the new pool to a new amphitheater to new trails and parks are all on there. So it's a great opportunity for you to not only learn about all the options, but also figure out what you would spend the money on and how you would divide that among everybody here in the community.
So we made this for the Chamber of Commerce meeting, and you're welcome to take it. This scan goes to this vision I have up on the screen. This is just real quickly, 22 million exceeds the amount we need for the pool. Council doesn't have to put a bond of 22 million together, but it's an incredible opportunity to invest a lot in the park system without raising taxes. So this is really that engagement with the community. This is the simplest thing about balancing act. This is called prioritize. You see, I've spent no money. There's 0 up in the bar up here. Let's say I want to do the aquatics. I'm gonna move this out of the way so you can all see what I'm doing. If I can get it to go. Come on, go with me. There we go. I want to do the aquatic center, so I'm gonna hit select, and now my bar has moved. I've spent $12 million. And so there's a whole list of options. I'll just briefly talk about the open air theater. This is one we've talked about in terms of a business function as well. We don't have a civic space to do events in. You know, we close streets really. Gazebo Park is the only space near any economic center. Do we want a place where you can have larger gatherings of folks for everything from potential large concerts, I think at the opera, you know, and such, you know, and the rep and things like that, outdoor possibilities, and that kind of space. So that's an option that we could, you know, look at adding in the bond.
I haven't done this balancing act yet, but I will, obviously. Where's that open air theater potentially gonna go? Just
Memorial Park.
Okay.
So it was part of, if you look back, there's a plan called the 40-acre plan for Memorial Park, the area around the rec center and such. And that included the call for a pavilion or a theater type of thing. So it's gonna, we don't know exactly where it'll sit and how big and all those kinds of things, right? We need to look at the scale ultimately, but it's something we know we've talked about for a long time and called for, and then how do we fit it in? I know some folks say, well, are we gonna lose the field? And we don't want to lose the field. In fact, we talked to the Parks and Rec Commission last night, and we included an option then. Do we take another field in another park that's not well maintained, doesn't have lights and regulation play? And do we improve that field to make sure we have a net, no net loss of possibilities and
Like
such?
Larson Park or something.
Larson, Blackburn actually has a second field that's, you know, not being, not maintained and such, so.
Kirkwood has a beautiful open air amphitheater and it is, there's people there every like week. We live right behind it, so we hear the
Yeah,
music
right.
like almost every night of the summer. It's beautiful. Brings the people in for sure.
That's been there for long.
Yeah,
It is really pretty cool and innovative. It's just a,
It's
yeah,
not like a huge.
it's like
you
a
know,
bowl, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a small, not, you know, intrusive or whatever, but people love to go to the park and get together and stuff. I guess.
So a lot of these things, just real quick, a lot of these are not, the aquatic center is a plan thing, right? We know much more about what this will look like and such along the way. A lot of these things are big concepts, because what you vote on in the April election is an amount of money that we're allowed to bond or borrow, we issue debt to use. So obviously, the council's not gonna say, we're gonna build this and then turn around and say, build something different, but we need to know, are those concepts the thing the city is really looking for, the residents and things that we need. So hence the balancing act, and how do we invest this extra money if the council's gonna put it forward to the full vote.
And to look at it comprehensively, this is a unique opportunity for us to do. Not more than one thing at a time. Is that all for that?
Yep.
I have one more item. Next April will be the elections for new council members. Three seats will be open, and so those packets will be available in December. I'm not sure, like.
They're available now.
Okay, they're available now. And you can pick up a packet and learn about how to become a council member. They are due the day after Christmas.
good deal.
Officer Azul, anything on your world? Sorry. Everyone's parking great. We have abundant parking in all places. That's what I think. So it's
Perfect.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Was there a police chase down Big Bend on Sunday night?
Probably, but I wasn't here, so.
Okay.
For the details, right? No.
Well, there was a lot of witnesses. So, in a business district and 2 business districts, so.
Sure it was a chase, it was not just an emergency call.
What?
Are you sure it was a chase?
I don't know.
We go licensed signers for a lot of emergencies.
I was not a witness, I just saw some community connectors talking about it, so I was
Ah.
like, that would be kind of scandalous, and it wasn't on the news, so. I just wanted to ask you.
I have one more thing that you reminded me of.
What?
Chief Curtis has twice had a safety education class. One was in the morning and then another one, it was conjunction with the Police Community Engagement Board meeting Tuesday night. And so that was a great opportunity to
And that's
learn.
on YouTube.
Yeah, they're both recorded on YouTube.
So really, it was, folks had questions about, we don't have, as Officer Russell will testify, we don't have carjackings happening all over, but those things do happen, right? And so how do we have a personal safety atmosphere and awareness and such like that? And what are those things to do? But it's beyond an issue with your car. How do you, things like, don't post on Facebook, you're gonna be gone for a week in the Bahamas and tell everyone that your home is, free and available. So things like that.
Yeah, after what happened in Kirkwood at the trunk or treat, I think everyone is kind of just on edge a little bit as a leader,
That was crazy.
Yeah. Mhm.
Hmm.
Yes.
What, anything to add to the agenda for next meeting? I mean, we'll have the coffee subcommittee update.
The only thing, we'll do a brief look at your next year's calendar
Yep.
of meetings, so that'll be done in November.
Okay.
And just to highlight for all of you who are really want the powerful job of chair and vice chair of this group, in January, we'll have elections.
Revote in
The
January.
ordinance, so Mike is gonna miss that meeting was what he's.
Are you feeling sick?
I don't know, when you miss it, that's when you get.
That's true. I was gonna say,
When you're not
it may have happened once or twice before.
I don't know, but are you going to the economic breakfast at Chambers Gwinnett? So maybe we can, the Chambers host a big joint regional economic outlook breakfast. That'll be before your next meeting. Pam and I will be there. I know Bud is going. Maybe we just put that on for just a quick
Quick update.
wrap
Yeah.
up update from that.
When is that, Bud?
The ninth?
The ninth.
Okay.
November.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If any of you want to go, we can send you the information. The chamber, it's their event and such, but I'm happy to send you information.
And it's a- Regional chamber or, St. Louis Metropolitan Chamber.
Yeah.
A lot of good information.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's not the Western.
Well, they're part of it, but it's the.
Okay.
You're right, it's the bigger,
Mhm.
wider.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, deal. Well, anybody else have anything to add? I feel like we rarely run ahead of time. But
I'm not trying to belabor the meeting, but as you look on the back, you'll see a lot of the things on this thing I'll send you, Gilead, which you'll have as well. We'll get it out. These improvements on business development that we talked about, things that we have talked about, we are probably in November, may have something to show you regarding the business directory, the map that we
Okay.
talked about, the QR code. The city has, if you remember this past year, we did micro grants for women entrepreneurs with our partnership with the National League of Cities. We've been reapproved to join, and we're gonna be doing some entrepreneur resource mapping. And what that means is if you want to come and start a business, we're gonna be working with the National League of Cities and their technical partners to build a map of, so, okay, you need to find a group of people to get you capital. Here's where you go, where are your workforce training organizations, who do you contact commercial realty about if you want to be brick and mortar, a whole map of all the resources that would be available for those folks that may be interested in opening a business here or in the region, or our residents want to open, next door and in the other town. So, but the benefit is National League of Cities will be paying for that and getting, through that grant program and create a product that we can use then. So.
cool.
I do have one more thing, just to be really annoying. How often are the city's trash receptacles like emptied and stuff in the business districts?
Talk about that one by Baldwin Creek Flex, aren't you?
No, I'm talking about the one right outside Soul Nail Salon that was overflowing on Saturday. It was embarrassing.
Weekly.
Once per week.
It's supposed to be weekly. Now, I will be the first to admit, we get calls, various different ones around the districts all the time. And there are moments when Waste Management stops, looks, and doesn't pick them up. I don't know why.
No, these aren't waste management. These are the city.
That's always, but we don't pick them up. Waste
Yeah,
Management picks them up.
Really?
Yeah, that's under the contract that they have with the city. So
Oh.
we don't pick up the trash. The trash is, the cans are ours, but that's part of the Waste Management's contract with us that we pay for.
Okay.
Them
Well,
to pick
just
that up.
as we go into busy season, I think the city should be on top of waste management to be making sure that the business district receptacles are actually getting emptied, because we can't do that as business owners. So that's something that the city can do for the
And we
business
do,
owners.
so we, when we get ready from, and that one was important to us, we gotten many emails about that, you know, that came out over the weekend, so. Waste management generally hops right to when we ask them to, you know, they always, their drivers, they have a map, we have a map, but they all have the same map, but it's hit or miss whether or not their staff picks them up or not, so.
Do you think you could ask them to pick up our broken down cardboard that's outside the bins and
We're at,
Old Orchard or old, yeah, I mean.
in Old Orchard,
there's
the Republic hasn't,
no, waste management. Just on
so
the,
those bins aren't,
oh, no, not the bins, I just mean in general, in the
oh, no.
residential.
Oh, in the residential?
Yeah, they've been leaving it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That would be if residential, that's okay.
Yeah.
So the business
Must-
districts, each of the business districts contracts with Republic Services and we have a blue recycling in each of the districts, so. But that otherwise businesses are taking their own trash in terms of their trash.
Trash things, let us know, always just call the city and we can usually talk to Public Works and they've got people beyond the 1-800 number that they can call sometimes and just, yeah.
The hotline.
Yeah, they've got like actual person.
Live
Like, "That's
person.
Jim and here's
Yeah.
his number. and it works a bit better.
Well, I don't think we have anything else, so next meeting's on the 16th and go ahead and adjourn.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.